All right, guys, we are here with Brian, 444 in the middle. We are here to talk about the track Voices, which is track number 2 on the SlumFlower Series. And what I wanted to know is, what were you thinking when you made that verse? Like, what was going on? If you feel comfortable with sharing, all of it, of course you don't have to.
Um, yeah, totally. So, voices is like, so the intro is pretty much kind of like this idea of running from parts of yourself that you don't necessarily want to accept, but you're aware are there. Shadows in your life, a shadow in your life, skeletons, demons, like, oftentimes, like, those are all the same thing, different negative things that kind of anchor into your life. So you try to run from those instead of facing them or dealing with them. And eventually, if you put enough awareness and energy into it, it manifests itself as a thing. For me, that was manifested as an ego or um, ego itself. And like a lot of where that comes in from the intro is that ego itself playing out and then sliding into voices, which is me realizing that, and this happens kind of throughout the album, but me realizing, especially on that track, that that ego does not serve, cannot serve, and is no longer really the version of myself that I would wish to portray out to the world. So, voices, kind of the plot behind that is like the voices in my head that are made up from either childhood trauma or a lot of negative things I've heard over the years or different things I've never dealt with. Um, all of those things as a child, if they're not dealt with, they become a child's inner voice, that voice in your head. And that essentially is the concept behind voices. If you listen to the ad libs, that's what's being said, but they contradict with the verse, which is, Brian destroyed emotion around his neck. I choked him. The idea of having an ego death, essentially, but getting rid of those things and not letting them chain themselves to you anymore, and finding that true power within, but understanding what you can do with it. So that's kind of the concept of voices and kind of the idea behind the verses that were written by myself and Fob Mob Joe. And again, the track produced by Drew the Alchemist, so shout out my boy Drew. But yeah, that was kind of the idea behind that one.
Okay. Next question I have is, for those who are going through kind of the same thing, what kind of words of wisdom would you like to share, as far as helping them out and helping them beat that?
I would say for anybody who can resonate with that, and I feel like a lot of people will at some point, if they haven't already. But if you resonate with the feeling of having very nefarious shadows and demons in your life that make you feel as if you can't win or you're not supposed to win, you have to break those curses. You have to break those generational traumas. You have to break those by first facing them head on, doing your shadow work, healing through those traumas that you didn't even know were there, because it's a lot deeper than just surface level. You're dealing with like low vibrational demons from different dimensions that you might not even be ready to dive into, but sooner or later you have to deal with those. And once you do deal with them, just as a piece of advice, or what I would want someone to take away from that, is that feeling of, wow, I feel so alone. It eventually goes away, because your demons won't make you feel that way anymore when they realize that you realize the light that you have on the inside. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, I guess if I had to say a takeaway, it would just be, take away the negative thoughts that you don't need to reaffirm every day. Take away the negative behaviors that become habitual, that then allow your demons to influence you into thoughts that aren't yours. You know what I'm saying? And begin to just open your spirit, open your mind, open your heart, and just do it with love, and you'd be surprised, honestly. So.
And then was this the track that you were? Okay, I should rephrase that. Did the track come out to be as you planned?
Yeah, I would definitely say yes and no, and yes and no, because I think things like that you can't necessarily plan. I think they fall perfectly into alignment with either what you have going on. All of those things just work out. The reason I say that is because originally that beat was sent to me by Drew the Alchemist, and immediately I wanted to write on it. I was like, this is just a phenomenal beat. But then what I was going to individually put on there, it just wasn't clicking until we had the opportunity to connect myself, Drew, and then you as well. So Fob Mob Joe, and we got to get together and do what it is I think that we do very well, which is just kind of siphon energy off one another, reciprocate it back and forth, and literally I don't think that could have been any more of an organic experience that led to what I feel that track created, which was just a very honest and truthful story of just a misunderstood person, individual experience, just trying to figure it out. So I think what I planned for to happen, which was just creating honest, conscious music, yes, but did I plan for it to go like that? No, but I'm grateful through and through. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
All right, sounds good. Just to wrap it up, anything you would like to say, add to the interview?
I would say lastly, the SlumFlower Series, again, out now, all platforms. Shout out to everybody that helped create that vision, bring that to life. BRY444N, all platforms if you want to look for it. And lastly, Emotion Entertainment, we have our next drop soon, which is a studio album coming out from Fob Mob Joe, Sucker for Love. So be on the lookout for that. We're going to be promoting that pretty soon, and just creating feels that are just going to make you feel something throughout the year, honestly. So yeah, just much love. Keep going to whatever you got going on if you're doing something, and yeah, just stay tuned.